season, and he's got work to do here today from the third row of the grid.
The eyes of Pecco Bagnaia there on fantastic form, the man in. And then last time out in the Algarve, is he going to make it 4 victories in 6 races to really cap off with Matteo Flamini?
He's been such a key part of Valentino's success down the years.
16-4, and welcome to this moment right now today on the 14th of November. Number 46.
That was written in the stars. You could not have scripted that any better, could you? Taka Nakagami had good race on the lineup in this final Grand Prix of the season. No Marc Marquez, no Pol Espargaro after his big crash in FP3. The first time
start is crucial here. It's tight, it's twisty, it's one line. The first few laps can be frantic, often are frantic in MotoGP at Valencia. Ways is, but especially here.
So many people wishing their best, and that's a lovely shot.
MotoGP, here's your front rower. Ducati lockout, Miller third, Bagnaia second, but on pole position, it's the rookie, Jorge.
It's the end of the season and the end of its 9,360 days since March the 31st, 1996, his Grand Prix debut in 57 laps right here in Valencia.
The warm-up lap about to begin, but not for Valentino Rossi. How many millions of people worldwide, in this paddock and out of it, watching at home, have been brought to this?
Always spoken about the influence, the inspiration provided by Valentino Rossi. The warm-up lap starts, possibly its biggest ever shining light. This is it, folks. It's farewell to MotoGP.
The fans are able to see every single corner. We'll find out just how many we've got in shortly. These are the stats. Wouldn't it be wonderful if the script writers had 200 podiums just to finish it all off?
Didn't have a bad career then, did he, by the looks of those statistics? And you can see them all. It's a standing ovation. We haven't even started yet. They all, to a man and woman and child.
Suzukis will be hungry for glory. The team's championship at the moment looks like it's going one way to the Ducati Lenovo team, and the white Brad Binder's a hard charger on a Sunday afternoon. Is there a little bit of glory for KTM in a rough couple of rounds?
Valentino Rossi's experienced it 431 times. He's about to experience it for the 432nd fans all around the world for their loyal support for a quarter of a century.
It's the final. Max is already teary-eyed. It's been a long journey. It's about to end here. 27 laps, what a start from Leeds down into turn 1.
Yeah,
and look at Rossi coming around the outside of Fabio Quartararo, the world champion. Oh, he's a bit wide on the rumble.
Off the line, what a launch by Jorge Martin. He's your early leader here, sweeping towards turn 4.
Through turn 4 we go, it's Miller in second, a good start from Mir.
Rossi gained 1 place and in the first sector, 10th to 9th. He's under early pressure here from Johann Zarco. No way through though for the Frenchman early on.
Zarco just behind him and Aleix Espargaro up ahead.
Jorge Martin, somebody's out well wide. That's Brad Binder. He's got to be careful there where he comes back on 15 from Miller. Joan Mir started 4th, picks up 1 place on this first lap. He might get gobbled up though by the Ducati down the start for the attack. Miller, look at the corner speed of the Suzuki. Can he get on the inside of Miller? No, he can't, and he's in danger here now of getting absolutely swallowed by Pecco.
And here comes Pecco Bagnaia as well. Not quite close enough, but Miller will take the lead. Can he hold the line through turn 1?
By Mir, Miller's in hot in turn 2. The door a little bit ajar, and Martin says thank you very much, I'll have the lead back. Mir's corner speed through turn, elbows out, fists out, and he's up into second place.
Yeah, and these two have got history as well. Mir and Miller have been on top of each other a lot so far.
By Valentino Rossi, as we mentioned, he gained that 1 place. He's not been able to come under any great pressure as yet from Johann Zarco. Was that Rins just in a track you can lose the front?
Joan Mir looks really fierce here in second place. We're on board with the 2020 world champion, of course, race winner here.
He went through 13 to then get awesome drive out of 14 because he's running the risk of getting swallowed by those factory Ducatis. He nailed it perfectly here. I think he's going to lose 3rd place now.
Yeah, that helps out Joan Mir a lot, who's got the fastest lap of the race in second place. Here comes Pecco top of him, who's going through into turn 2, and Miller now has got all the way back to 5th.
Yeah, it looks like Miller's having early problems. 1:7.63. That was one of the top 4 lap times on that previous lap.
Mir's going to have a look here into turn 6, is he? That looked very Quartararo just behind him. I can see Valentino Rossi. He's keeping track of Binder in 8th. So far, so good for the doctor.
Yeah, Jack Miller started this morning. They started 4th and 6th. As you mentioned, Joan Mir, again, the superior corner speed and the edge grip he's got. Session. This was on the cards, this kind of challenge.
Yeah, they want to finish the season off with a boost, don't they? Here comes Joan Mir, then he's just going up to second, and Mir helpless to stop it.
Yeah, the top 4 all exchanged the fastest lap of the race there. As Steve mentioned, a 1:31.33 race lap.
Valentino Rossi's just dropped to 10th. Johan Zarco got past him on the start-finish straight, I think, which is no surprise. Jorge Martin, the rookie, who leads this one.
Yeah, well, there's Rins up the inside of his teammate Juan Mir into turn 6 beautifully.
If he's going to get up on the right side of bed, which it seems like he has, then he's got an outstanding chance of victory here today. Quick shout out while we can to Elation.
Early on for Taka Nakagami, who in terms of race pace yesterday looked really strong, setting the best time in FP4. Didn't get the start on the first couple laps.
These stages then. Jack Miller has been pushed now back all the way to 6th.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. We were talking about a Jack Miller place. It's Nakagami trying to keep him company now. On board then with Quartararo.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, Miller got back past the world champion on the start-finish.
No such dramas though for the two factory Ducatis ahead of him. Quartararo. Miller was wide through 4.
To 6th place since that mistake on the opening lap. Oh, was that Nakagami?
That's
He's crashed.
Nakagami.
I believe when that happened, he was closing on the doctor. And yeah, never going to save that one into turn 6, down and out, and it just sort of adds.
Really now going to try and pick up some slipstream. Is he going to even attack Martin on the brakes down the hill into this final corner? No, he's not. This
Cortez is coming through from 18th already up into 11th. Of course, the Rookie of the Year battle right now would go to Martin because he's leading this. It's a factory Ducati in terms of its latest factory Ducati, but it's obviously Pramac coloured. This is Bagnaia looking back to Rins, who looks
on the inside of Bagnaia. He's so good at turning that Suzuki into turn 6. That's where he got Mia a couple of laps ago. He's now Alex Rins. Some of the mistakes he makes, sometimes he just goes missing in races. Yet here he is again in Valencia, putting up a rousing fight for the win.
I'm not going to pick a fight with you on that one, Matt, because the last couple of years that is the tale of Alex Rins. He's class when he's in the mood.
If I had hair,
Jorge Martin leads. He has been so impressive this year. He did this earlier in the year, a couple of to the race personal fastest for Quartararo and Miller. He might have just finally regrouped after a few,
if for the hard front tyre to come in for him.
Mir just again there slightly wide himself, losing touch momentarily.
Jorge Martin's ability to deal with this pressure, because we've seen him so often this year deal with this kind of pressure right from the get-go. He can handle no problem. And of course he's got great pedigree here. Was it 7 races I think in the past, 4 podiums?
It would have done that before. So in the background there, fair play to Rossi by the way. At the moment he's still in 10th. He's lapping just as quick as these guys. Move on Jorge Martin. Rins closes in into the final turn as well, and as we go across the line we will complete lap.
I mean, you can see that clearly on the lap times. Martin, Bagnaia and Rins all 1:31.5s. Mir just losing touch. Rossi's got company, and it's a big threat coming from a certain Enea Bastianini.
Ronaldo keeping strong. Rossi did just put in his personal best lap of the race of 31.7.
Yeah, he might have bother from the beast though pretty soon, because people say this Valencia track's quite one line, it's quite hard to overtake, which it is. But Enea Bastianini just making light work of Portimao last weekend. This is the way that Bastianini operates on a Sunday, isn't it?
It really is, it really is. The rest of the field though, there's going to be an awful lot of work for the likes of Yamaha and Suzuki to do, because the back end of this season they have been sublime. Pecco Bagnaia now never had any speed here at all. Here in 2nd place, and at the moment keeping track of Martin. Fabio Quartararo, not bad, so
Catty there, yeah. Bastianini in the run down to the first corner. Rossi, unfortunately, at the moment, squeezed out of the top 10.
As you were at the front to turn 6, we've seen him make a couple of moves there already in this race.
That's the problem, isn't it, Steve? You can get on par with the Ducatis.
Yeah, but a huge rival of Valentino Rossi's from 2000 to 2005.
I think it's fair to say, yes, they were right on circuit. Max Biaggi once famously said, Valentino Rossi was my enemy when he was a 125cc rider. I mean, those two.
Position here, Jack Miller's gone through on the world champion Fabio Quartararo. So, be interesting to see now with a bit of clear air. Wow, both of them get fastest laps. A 31.261 for Rins, the fastest lap of the race so far.
It just shows how off the pace of that top 3 in front of him, but it's just dropping him half a second, 7/10 of a second behind. Bagnaia was very, very strong there, wasn't it?
To the left now.
Yeah.
Oh, he thought about it. That was more than just a little look, wasn't it, from Pecco Bagnaia?
Does he find a way through on 2 of the best riders in MotoGP right now, on undoubtedly the best motorcycle in Ducati?
Jorge Martin it is that still leads, but rather impatiently Pecco Bagnaia trying to get it back.
Yeah, Martin, Bagnaia and Rins, they're not really throwing overtakes at each other, are they? And that's just not allowing Joan Mir actually, to be fair to him, as we knew he would do. He's trying to respond here. He's just set the fastest lap of the race. That's class.
Oh, Martin was wide.
For those tenths that he lost over the course of the last 2 laps. So he's now got it back down to under half a second.
Second fastest rider on track from over.
Yeah, this is all building up to being a pretty classic. Oh, Rins has gone down! Alex Rins at 6, where he looked so strong. Alex Rins down and out yet again. Another massive blunder from the Spaniard. How many? Yeah, I mean, is that related to a bit of front tyre pressure, being stuck behind the two Ducatis as well? That might be something to factor in. Unbelievable. He's put Mir now in the top 3.
Yeah, and he's put Mir in a position where it's him versus the Ducatis as they come through turn 1. Then Dr. Valentino Rossi, of course, because of that crash, has moved up into 10th place overall as the field goes through. Simon, your thoughts?
When even up until he fell, because there's not many riders that can manage tyres like him, meaning that he used it. That's why they were so upset. One thing I'm watching now is Mir. You know how he dropped back? He's so... I didn't know whether he was dropping...
The clever cookie, isn't he, Juan Mir? You never know, but at the moment he's 7/10 adrift of Pecco Bagnaia. It's still... Right?
Yeah, and yet another Rins bin scenario. That's put Valentino Rossi back in the top 10.
Rossi's still lapping in the 31s.
Into the first corner, of course. These are identical spec engines, the DP21. No. And again, Martin.
Too risky circuit as we look back at Aleix Espargaro.
Yeah, and he's not a rider that takes crazy risks, is he, Pecco Bagnaia? There's a proper mature head on him.
So it's from here around to sort of the last corner where Pecco Bagnaia does have some good speed. Now, he's not close enough to have a look in.
And Bagnaia did different lap times. That lap, the previous lap, was a 31.5. I think we've had 31.5s before, 31.6 in.
Rossi on lap 12.
Yeah, this will be his fastest ever race around Valencia, that's for sure.
Lynn Jarvis looking up.
Unbelievable trip down memory lane. Of course, Lynn Jarvis was so influential in convincing this man, along with Masao Furusawa and Davide of Honda, taking all the credit. He wants to be recognised as a man who was making such a contribution to their success. He went to Yamaha and won reaping the rewards of that massive seismic change in the power in MotoGP back in 2004.
And Miller, that last lap, were 2/10 quicker than Martin and Bagnaia, and we may well have an 8-wheel fight for the lead, because it did not look like it was going to plan at all in the opening 3 laps.
One other thing to consider about Miller, Steve, is that Alex Rins has to do often that in 2021. We keep talking about this. Alex Rins, that is a prized factory Suzuki seat. Rins needs an incredibly strong start to next season if he's to convince Suzuki management that he's the man to take them for another 2 years.
Podiums are maybe even better. Again, Bagnaia close to Martin on turn 14, but he can't get close enough, of course. Equal machine. Miller, the fastest man on that last lap, in 4th place.
Just wondered whether the start of the race, Jack Miller was just... And over the course of the weekend, you always do get quite a lot of tyre wear here in Valencia. It's a 4-kilometre circuit, short tyres.
Oh, there was a look there, a firm look from Pecco Bagnaia. They were side by side there for a moment, it looked like. But at the moment, Martin...
Well, based on yesterday in qualifying in particular, Bagnaia is going to need to be in front of Jorge Martin on the last lap. Bagnaia said Sector 4 has been able to see that clear advantage at close quarters. He's been right on Jorge Martin's rear tyre now for pretty much the whole race from lap 2
onto it. Bagnaia leads then into turn 14, and that brings Mir a little closer to the action as well.
Now then, Martin with clear track in front of him, as Pecco Bagnaia here just been keeping his powder dry, keeping some life in those tyres. Now he's in the lead.
Laps to go, we're just past half distance into turn 4. Juan Mir still there in 3rd, Miller still there, back in 4th place. Now we're turn 5 into turn 6. We might well see the fastest lap of the race coming in a moment from Pecco Bagnaia.
Yesterday, it's Pecco Bagnaia and Jack Miller. What will happen now is Mir and Miller will see Bagnaia getting his head down here and trying to make them done.
Great move,
yeah, lovely.
From Pecco Bagnaia, nice and clean as well.
That's the textbook turn 14 move, isn't it, in Valencia?
10th of a second, who now, in turn, is falling into the hands of Juan Mir. Keep your eyes on the lap time here of the number 63.
Winning his time. Obviously, he hasn't wanted to push that rear tyre too hard in the first half of the race, and as soon as he's hit the front, the tires to match his pace, they're going to burn up their tyres quicker in the process as well. So this could be the decisive move here by Pecco Bagnaia.
Marc Marquez from 2019, so Bagnaia in the groove, and he's now opened up a 6/10 of a second lead over Jorge Martin.
Like a foregone conclusion that Ducati were going to add the team championship to the constructor championship. Well, that's well and truly on the cards now with Bagnaia. Morbidelli. Where's Morbidelli down in 11th place? Yeah, that's very much going the way of the Ducati Lenovo team.
Yeah, at the moment there's Quartz Marquez, Alex Marquez, Miguel Oliveira 14th, Iker Lecuona at the moment taking the final point.
Well, the Martin, he's just responded with his own personal best lap of the race, a 1:31.141. Awesome.
Many battles from 2006 to 2018 with the Dr. Valentino Rossi. he's keeping
to be strong at the start of next year as well. When you look at the performance of some of the other GP21s around him right now, particularly in the second half of the season, Johan Zarco rediscover his early successful touch at 2021, where he looked like a title contender in the first third of the championship, didn't he?
You have to feel sorry for Ducatis.
Shows how good he is, Steve, because
yes,
Ducati have been so superior here this weekend in the dry, and there's only one man at the moment.
Tin has not been dropped at all, has he? In second place, the Pramac Ducati rider. There'll be 9 laps to go when they cross the line next. The 10th gained by Jorge Martin.
There's a scary proposition in prospect for the MotoGP field in 2022 because Ducati have...
There's a move. Jack Miller's gone up into third, into turn 2. That was coming. Mir then finally has to relinquish the final podium. 1.3 seconds he's got to try and find.
Can Mir get back through at turn 6? He's going to run a tight inside line, but Miller's too strong. He got the goodness on top of those motorcycles as well. It's going to be tough to beat Ducati, I think, next season. That was beautifully done by Miller up the inside of Mir. Race of 2021. We have never, since they first competed in the Premier Class back in 2003, had a Ducati lock. A great run. He was defined really by just one corner. The corkscrew at Laguna Seca in 2008.
It really flat time as they come across the line. Now he's got clear air. Oh, he's still about a 10th off. He's got a lot of time to find.
Jorge Martin, just over 0.2 of a second.
It was
on that lap 16, Steve, when Bagnaia set that fastest lap.
These guys, the pressure is off, and Martin wants personal glory. And he is keeping Pecco Bagnaia very honest at his best laps, and he's moved up ahead of Aleix Espargaro. So Zarco now up into 6th place overall. Times this year where you would expect Jorge Martin to fade, and he has done. As you would expect, he's a rookie in MotoGP. It's such a tough task. He is going to be a bit of a weapon, I think, next year. Jorge Martin.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I hope Joan Mir gets some help from World Championship, right up there with the very best, but he needs some help from Suzuki. At the moment, he's just losing Gaia.
I think Joan Mir hopes that Suzuki are going to give him a little bit of help as well.
Yeah, because he can't ride that bike any harder. He's getting the best somehow. There he is. Look at that, back of the picture. Speedway style from Joan Mir. Poetry in motion. What
Bagnaia cannot shake off the advances of Jorge Martin. Paolo Campinotti, Pramac boss, looking on at his brilliant... As we now get up towards the 3rd sector, maybe Martin. He just took another 10th out of the number 89 through sector 3.
Fabio Quartararo on that last lap with the 2020 World Champion. There was Gigi Dall'Igna looking on, the Ducati Corsa general manager. What a job he's done this year.
But he's just posted his fastest lap of the race, a 31.1 from the Australian. At the moment, Valentino Rossi's holding firm. 10th place.
Valentino Rossi, because right behind him is his bosom buddy, his great mate, Franco Morbidelli. Frankie Morbidelli was the first, and this would be a real fitting way if they came over the line together here in Valencia.
It really, really would. At the front, Jack Miller has taken another 10th out of Jorge Martin. Is there another twist to come? Has Bagnaia also now...
GP World Championship campaign. 2019, he was on the podium in 2 of the last 3 races. Here last year, he was fighting with Frankie Moore. This is a typical end-of-season flourish here from Jack Miller. Is he going to run out of time, though, to get it any better than 3rd?
That's the problem, isn't it? A good lap this left here in Valencia for the final race of the season. In the background, Quartararo continues to close in on Joan.
This is history beckoning for the Bologna factory. They have never had in their history a lockout of a MotoGP, who we just saw there down in the factory Ducati garage. Their one and only MotoGP World Champion in 2007, but what a...
To get the hooks into Jorge Martin as another 10th gain through sector 2 from the Australian. Here are the 3 Ducatis with Mir just in... Make history here, and another 10th gained in sector 3 from Miller as well.
Joan Mir needs the checkered flag to come quite quickly, because they're a second as we start, what, with 4 laps to go. That battle for 4th place still very much alive by the looks of it as well.
Crossed up to 6 tenths between this man on your screen and Miller just behind him. Is it Ducati Lenovo team with ease to the team championship here in Valencia? It would be a nice way to cap it off if they were 1-2 in the same lap times as Joan Mir in 4th. He's in the 31.7 still in 10th place with 4 laps to go. Ooh, bit of a mistake there from Martin, slightly wide. That might just offer Miller an extra half a tenth.
There's only the top, a rare dry race top 10 in his farewell season, but that's what he's on course for at the moment. He's just about keeping Martin. It could be just a battle for second coming up here. There's going to be 3 laps to go in a moment, and they cannot break the Bagnaia boundary. On 3 for Bagnaia, excellently done. Mir is in a little bit of bother.
Joan Mir is in bother with Fabio Quartararo.
In the first few laps, he fought his way through from the third row, but he's had nothing for these three Ducatis. Nobody really has had any.
Further back, Bastianini's gone through an Alicia Spargaro, who's faded in the closing stages of this one, but here is the Doctor, 42.
The old master, the old maestro at work. Beautiful shot there. And at the moment he's going to finish in P10 as well.
Bagnaia 8/10 clear now of Martin. It's just a matter of who finishes. And by the way, Martin would take the Rookie of the Year title. Thoroughly deserved, considering he missed 4 rounds earlier on in the year.
Pace, absolutely, without any question, as good as anybody else in this field. He's last 31.4.
2 to go.
He's going to run out of time to take that 6th place away from Johan Zarco by the looks of it.
He might be a bit frustrated with that mistake on the Ducati 1-2. He'll know the importance of a Ducati 1-2-3. Uccio Salucci, of course, keeping a look on.
Hey, Martin desperately trying to hang on to this 2nd place. He would love to finish the season from the podium. It's been in Portimao after such a strong start to his season. There was even doubts in his own mind about whether he wanted to carry on racing. It was fight here for the last victory of the season in Valencia. It looks like he's running out of steam in terms of top spot on the podium, but it looks like
Martin, is he about to find a way through into turn 1 now? He's very strong on the exit of turn 1. Will he make a move into turn 2? And 4 kilometres left for the Doctor.
Yeah, has he done just over 46,000 kilometres?
Jack Miller, you just know, is having a look somewhere. He said yesterday he's all in. Miller, do it. It's not going to be into turn 8. Not close enough there.
I'm really fascinated to understand what Jack Miller's the chance to afford his teammate Pecco Bagnaia here for the win.
It's not turn 11 either for Jack Miller. He might have to leave it all until the last lap on Bagnaia, but it looks like he's got everything under control.
It's going to be a memorable day for Italian MotoGP and Italian motorsport. The first.
Yeah, Bagnaia wins, and it's a Ducati 1, 2, 3, and Ronaldo waves the checkered flag because, come on, a 10th place, a valiant effort. Ronaldo waves him by. Grazie Vale. Fantastic. A Ducati 1, 2, 3. They are going to be a force and a half next year.
Yeah, history made. Martin and Miller.
But here he is, Valentino Rossi. Number 46 in Ducati. There'll be tears just about everywhere here at the end. His academy riders are all there as well. He has brought joy. Who wins Valentino Rossi's last ever Grand Prix race.
That's almost like the fairy tale ending, isn't it? Of course, in motorsport, talent going in MotoGP. Pecco Bagnaia takes the win. Warm embraces all round here from every single rider on Bastard.
You've been an inspiration for me.
Grazie, grazie.
You see your passion for the sport?
Sì, io resterei sempre un
Fantastic.
You has never changed.
Grazie per tutto, Vale. Muovetela al massimo.
Nada, desear.
Viva 46.
Some amazing tributes from some of the world. Chris Hemsworth was there, McDougall, Casey Stoner, of course, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, the list goes on, Roger Federer, and on. If MotoGP has a superhero, then the Cape very much.
6th place in his Grand Prix debut in Shah Alam, and then since then he has transformed the sport that respects for so many around the world is all down to Valentino Rossi. Take nothing away, of course, from Ducati, who are going to be celebrating. They've taken all 3 places on a Premier Class podium.
After 432 races, he comes out of it with 9 around the circuit. The win for Pecco Bagnaia, it couldn't be more ideal.
So sorry, very happy. 3 Ducatis on the first row, 3 Ducati on the podium, unbelievable.
For the moment, because of course there's so many celebrations here as we say goodbye to the giant of 2-wheeled moto at all sort of hours of the day, from all corners of the globe as well, and we say thank you to you, because it has to be said,
anywhere in the world, from Tavulia to Timbuktu, you mention MotoGP and somebody just goes instantly, Valentino, the biggest sports stars in the world there. As Steve mentioned, we just saw Ronaldo, Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Formula 1 giants, of course.
I'm pretty sure that would have done the team's championship for us. So, it's been a good year, and hopefully next year even better.
Happy for the team to finish this way. The season is amazing with a pole and a podium. So yeah, we have now motivation for the future.
here, and we were one of the fastest. So I'm very happy. We won today, and it's incredible. Best way to finish the season.
Celebrate as you might expect in the Petronas Yamaha garage.
So it's a dramatic conclusion to an incredible 2020 walkout of a MotoGP podium, joined in that top three by Jorge Martin and Jack Miller. Joan Mir was fourth, head of new world champion. Emotional farewell finishes inside the top 10. Morbidelli, Dovizioso, Alex Marquez, Miguel Oliveira and Taka Nakagami couldn't capitalise on his excellent race pace yesterday. He also had a disappointing fall in the same corner. The Japanese man rounds ago in Misano too. Fabio Quartararo then it is, who is the 2021 MotoGP. Mir was third in the overall rankings ahead of Miller, Zarco and Brad Binder inside the top six. Marc Marquez still seventh in this championship. Valentino Rossi, a final flurry, a top 10 in those dry conditions here in Valencia, pushes him up 2 places out with a top 10. Iker Lecuona, of course, Honda World Superbike ban next year.